We gas ourselves up, but we short on breath. Talking about we eating, but who we really cooking. Dreaming about greens, but ain't nobody looking. No land, no acres, no seeds in the ground. When the hunger hits, who's gonna be around? We starving every day, and it just ain't the food. Feeding the hood garbage, got 'em acting a fool. We flossing with rides, stunting with chains, but these bars we spitting just bring more pain. We guilty as hell, preaching all these lies, selling debt to the kids, and we acting surprised. We commercialize the pain, broadcast the grief, tell the youth to hustle, but hide the beef. We glorify the trap, invite them to the flames, just like Reagan brought the crack on planes. Back in the 80s when the streets got soaked, my people, my brothers, all got choked. Reagan said no trades, but we know the deal. He left us in the dirt, man, that shit was real. I was just a shorty watching it unfold, old enough to see how we got sold. War on drugs, but it was war on us. Cops on our necks, no love, no trust. They labeled us thugs, beast on the block, made us kiss the pavement while they cleaned our clock. Prison became business thanks to Reagan's game. Free labor's the truth in America's name. Slavery's dead, man. That's just a word. Read the 13th Amendment, it's still absurd. They lock us in cages, serving time for life. Double digits for wisdom, cutting sharp like a knife. I'm here to say, the chains in the air, it's time we break free, start showing we care. No more flexing for nothing, no more selling out. It's time to rise up, time to end the drama.
My bad, y'all. I'm trying to look Rob in. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. So I do have the documentary video, whatever you want to say, call it. But before we get into all that, I got independent music and Rashad Lee, Nothing to Lose, and we'll be right back right after this.
Woo! 2025 shit. I'ma keep it a buck when I say I ain't playing. I'm here for a reason, been mine for the taking. I kept my composure, the hunger I'm craving. I fought all my demons, this shit feel amazing. Why would I care if they want me to stop? I don't know, nigga, it's better you not. Either you been with me or you dead against me, but ain't nobody taking my spot. Nobody be tripping, you really gon' do it? I don't know, lately I've been going through it. Mine been on racing, they testing my patience. I learned to embrace it, but fuck how they moving. Focused on me, give a damn what they doing. Rap shit been easy, I'm steady improving. They try to judge me, I question the ruling. Why hate on a nigga you been in pursuit? And this shit be confusing. Second guessing, sadly I'm guilty, but learn my lesson. Pain pills, did the shit for thrills, and even at my worst, did nobody test me. At my bottom, ain't nobody bless me. Couple problems, but they won't address me. Rumor has it, I be having my way, they behaving different, but it don't impress me. I've been feeling like fuck everybody, I'm bugging. Hate that I feel like I do this for nothing. Can't trust my niggas, I feel like they frontin'. Back on the wall, got me swinging and punching. I'm making a way, they ain't giving me nothing. So fuck it, my nigga, let's do what it do. I'ma be patient, my nigga, it's different than waiting. My nigga, it's all in the view. Nobody solid, it's only a few. Who to trust? Nigga lame as fuck. Really double cross me, wanna give him the pew. Situations got me thinking different. There's some shit that maybe I should probably improve. Imitators try to copy my moves. Instigators trying to fuck up my groove. My foot on the gas, I got nothing to lose. So this what it do when I say I ain't playing. I'm here for a reason, been mine for the taking. I kept my composure, the hunger I'm craving. I fought all my demons, this shit feel amazing. Why would I care if they want me to stop? I don't know, nigga, it's better you not. Either you been with me or you dead against me, but ain't nobody taking my spot. Nobody be tripping, you really gon' do it? I don't know, lately I've been going through it. Mine been on racing, they testing my patience. I learned to embrace it, but fuck how they moving. Focused on me, give a damn what they doing. Rap shit been easy, I'm steady improving. They try to judge me, I question the ruling. Why hate on a nigga you been in pursuit? And this shit be confusing. Demolition, parting ties, I made a big decision. Felt the pressure, had to seek revision. I was in my bag, but still a piece was missing. Hustle hard, I'm trying to seek provisions. At my brink, I told them keep their distance. Truth be told, I'm in a peak position. Learn to use my voice, and when I speak, they listen. Can't believe what the hell am I seeing? They rewarding the fake, am I dreaming? Maybe I've been mistaken the meaning. Had to switch up the root, nigga scheming. Had to clear out my closet, I'm cleaning. While rappers be shit like a pile, they steaming. I don't know, nigga, give us a reason. cap, it should be a matter of treason. And these suckers ain't never in season. If I can't be real, what's the point of me breathing? I don't love it, no point in me bleeding. I don't need them, no point in me pleading. Speculation, no point in me feeding. I'm speaking no facts and I leave it at that. People judge, I ain't feeling attacked, so they talk out of turn and I give them my back. Ain't no reason to cap. Matter of fact, when I say I ain't playing, I'm here for a reason. Been mine for the taking. I kept my composure, the hunger I'm craving. I fought on my demons, this shit feel amazing. Why would I care if they want me to stop? I don't know, nigga, it's better you not. Either you been with me or you dead against me, but ain't nobody taking my spot. Nobody be tripping, you really gon' do it? I don't know, lately I've been going through it. Mine been on racing, they testing my patience. I learned to embrace it, but fuck how they moving. Focused on me, give a damn what they doing. Rap shit be easy, I'm steady improving. They try to judge me, I question the ruling. Why hate on a nigga, you been in pursuit, and this shit be confusing.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Like I said, this morning we're gonna watch it's 51 minutes and 20 seconds long. I'm gonna try to play. I don't think Twitter has any X, whatever they want to call it, has any ads. So I'm hoping that I can probably play this all the way through without stopping if I can, because it just will make it quicker. So I'll play this, get it out the way, and then have a discussion about what happened last night in North Minneapolis, to talk about right versus wrong. I don't want to talk about libertarian. I don't want to talk about Green Party. I don't want to talk about Republican, Democrat, right? I want to have an honest conversation about people's ethics, right? So I know Robert grew up in a different environment than I did. So I truly want to have a candid and open conversation. If people would like to come on and get into that discussion, you're more than welcome. I'll put the link out here. Or if you want the link, you can put a message or a comment, whatever, and I will gladly share it. So with that being said, let me play this documentary video, whatever they want to call it, and let's get on with it.
I'm asking
No. You don't ask me nothing, man.
$2.25 million.
Get out.
Are we the only community that does fraud?
How come they said this building was closed? Do you guys know where advanced mobility is? Advanced mobility? Yeah, we're looking for it. Never heard of it?
They know we're shining the light on the fraud, and they have no defense.
Would you like to see anybody in the government here held accountable?
Most definitely, because there can definitely be an allocation of funds.
The Minnesota fraud scandal continues to get worse and worse as billions of dollars of fraud has been exposed, and as I showed the world the blatant fraud taking place at daycares and other locations across Minnesota, it became the most viewed video expose on the internet and created instant change within the government as the Fed sent thousands of federal agents to Minnesota, and the HHS froze over $185 million in all payments to childcare. And while politicians like Tim Walz call people like me white supremacists and far-right delusional conspiracy theorists for exposing the fraud, meanwhile, he actually dropped out of running for re-election. The Minnesota fraud scandal has erupted the nation as protests and riots took place, all starting because daycares like Quality Learning Center were exposed. However, the daycares is only a small portion of the fraud taking place in Minnesota. In this video, I will take you into what has continued to allow this fraud to happen and connect all of the dots for you, exposing all of the fraud from strange connections of the business owners and the politicians who have openly admitted to the fraud on live TV. And to dive deep into the fraud, I met back up with the local David, who has been investigating this widespread fraud scandal for years. So here in Minnesota, you have daycare fraud, you have adult daycare fraud, you have healthcare fraud, and you even have more fraud. What's some of the fraud that's also taking place here inside of Minnesota?
Well, what I think might be sort of the heart of the beast here is this transportation fraud. And what I mean by that is in Minnesota, we have something called non-emergency medical transportation, NEMT. My research has shown that there are about 1,020 such companies in Minnesota, and more than 90% of them are Somali owned.
And so right here on the table, what do we have? All this information right here.
So I have a number of companies that are local here in the Twin Cities, and this is just a fraction of the companies that are out there. What I found was that the national average for a non-emergency medical transportation company is 20 vehicles per company. A lot of these companies, their address is an apartment, some are in a house, some are in a convenience store, some of them in a vacant building. There's no signage, there's nobody there.
And so why would there be such a need for all these transportation companies here inside of Minnesota?
So if you think of this transportation as the hub of the wheel, so childcare is a spoke, adult daycare is a spoke, autism is a spoke, the interpreter services, which we can get into, that's another spoke. It all ties back to transportation. Why? Because those meals someone had to deliver those meals, someone has to deliver the kid to autism, or say they did. So it all revolves around the transportation. And so when you're looking at this, you say, okay, well, let's just be conservative. Let's go on the low side. Let's say there are only 800 Somali-owned non-emergency medical transportation companies in Minnesota. Well, again, the average is 20 vehicles per company. So that's 800 times 20. And the way these NEMT companies are paid is if they bring someone to a doctor's appointment, whatever the case might be, or Costco or wherever they're going, because remember, it's non-emergency medical transportation. Well, we went to Costco because they have to eat or they'll die. So that's considered, right? So it's almost impossible to figure out from the outside what exactly the payments are for each of these trips. But I have a pretty good idea. So when someone provides a transportation to a facility or a location, they're also paid for the time to sit there and wait for the appointment to end and then drive the person back. So they're paid 3 different ways. And the average is going to be $50 per trip. So it's going to the appointment as a trip, coming back trip. So that's $100 per round trip. So if you have 800 companies in Minnesota that are NEMT companies, they all own 20 vehicles, and they're all making 10 trips a day, and it's $50 per trip. So it's 800 times 20 times 10 trips times $50 a trip. Do the math. And the reality is, how many of these trips are being provided? 0. They don't have to provide any. Why? Because when they are paid by the state of Minnesota, these companies go online and they fill out a form, and it just says, okay, how many trips, how many miles. They submit that electronically to the state, and boom, they get paid. Nobody bothers to check. They don't call the dentist, did this kid show up? They don't do anything. As soon as that form is filed with the state of Minnesota, that payment goes out immediately.
And so essentially, these transportation companies are what hold all of the fraud together, because you have the daycare centers working with the transportation companies, the adult daycare centers working with the transportation companies, the healthcare companies working with the transportation companies. So it's just another way to bill and to also make it look like something's happening here inside of Minnesota.
This is the belly of the beast. All of this fraud revolves around these transportation companies. All of it. This touches every part of fraud here in Minnesota.
And today we're going to go confront these people. We confronted them last time. There was no kids in any of the child care centers. And today, what do you expect to see?
I think we're going to see some vehicles because, you know, when I drive around the cities here, I see these Somalis driving, and mostly it's like a Plymouth Caravan or whatever. And there's never, ever, ever been a passenger. And in 7 years, I've never seen a passenger in any of these vehicles. I've followed some of them. They're going to Costco, they're going to Sam's Club, they're going to Walmart. The driver gets out, goes in there, loads up a shopping cart, comes in, puts it in the van, and off they go back to where they live.
And now we're going to go out and see what's happening with these transportation companies.
And here's the other thing. Tim Walz and the Department of Human Service, you threw the people of Minnesota under the bus. Shame on you, and I'm coming for you.
You heard it here first, David. All right, let's go. So where's the first location we're going to?
The first location is a company called Safari Transportation, Cedar Avenue South in Minneapolis.
And so what makes Safari Transportation Company an interesting transportation company?
Well,
Allegedly fraudulent.
well, the thing about Safari is that they've been registered since 2015 with the state of Minnesota as operating vehicles. And again, the national average for a non-emergency medical transportation company is 20 vehicles. So if they've got 20 vehicles and they're at 607 Cedar Avenue, I have no idea where there's parking. I'm parking them because there is no parking anywhere near this office.
We've arrived to the transportation company. We're outside, and right there we have a Loving Arms Adult Daycare. All the windows are completely boarded out right there, and there's supposed to be a transportation company registered right here. It's 617, but it's a liquor store. So the location here is 607 and also 617. These are two transportation companies. We're on a main road right now, and this is 607, and it is not a transportation company. It's actually a money transfer, but it's registered here. 607. This does not look like Safari Transportation. Where is the transportation company?
I don't see any signs denoting that there's any transportation. It's all just looks like money wiring. But if you look at the Secretary of State's office, state of Minnesota, Safari Transportation, 607 Cedar Avenue, and it's been registered here since 2015. That was the original filing.
So let's see if we have the manager. Let's see if we can find FOD. Hello. How are you? We're looking for the transportation company.
Safari Transportation?
Looking for Safari Transportation?
No, there's no Safari Transportation here.
No Safari Transportation?
Safari Transportation,
Hey,
607 Cedar
sir.
Avenue.
We're just looking for Safari Transportation.
We don't know.
So, but this is registered for Safari Transportation,
know.
That's the
607.
address.
Okay, we don't know.
We're asking where Safari
There's
Transportation is.
not, we don't know.
Did you
Okay,
know
so the
Fuad
business is
Omar?
not here.
Don't record.
Fuad Omar?
Fuad Omar,
We don't know. This, do you see this? What is this?
money transferring.
That's it.
Okay,
Well, this
registered.
is from the state.
This is fraud taking place. This is supposed to say, this is for
Go
Safari
find out.
Transportation.
Go find out.
Yeah, we did find out. This is fraud right here.
Registered here
This is
since
registered.
2015.
2015?
Safari Transportation, state of Minnesota.
2015. We're approved.
Well, but it's registered now. This is current, just off the state of Minnesota website today.
Sir.
Please.
This is from today. I just printed this off today. Fuad A. Omar.
Go check it out.
We're here. This is 607. Where's Safari
607.
Transportation?
Okay, it's no Safari, period.
Okay, so it's a fraudulent
Did you-
business.
Did you see Safari anything here?
Exactly.
Did you see?
Exactly. It's
Did
not
you
here.
see it?
It's a fraud.
Did you see, sir?
Okay, thank you. We're going to go to the next
Okay.
address.
See?
All right, let's keep moving on. So 607, this is supposed to be Safari Transportation, no transportation company. And now we're going to 617, another transportation company. However, it is actually Cedar Riverside Liquor. Where is the transportation company?
617.
617 right here.
Dreamline Transportation per the state of Minnesota is registered to 617 Cedar Avenue South.
And it's a liquor store. David, they aren't even trying to hide that these
Yeah.
are transportation companies. Where are the vans at?
Should we ask?
Let's go ask.
Hey, we're looking for Dreamline Transportation.
Now we're in 617, Dreamline Transportation.
No.
Where is the transportation company?
No, we don't have this.
You ever heard of Safari Transportation?
Safari, I know Safari, that money wiring, 607.
The money wiring.
Yeah.
Okay, that's money wiring.
Yeah.
Safari
We're looking for
Transportation.
Safari
Maybe there,
Transportation.
607.
They said they never heard of it.
I never did. Safari company, the money wiring, they send money there, that's the 607.
So Safari gets the money and then they wire it out.
Yeah, yeah.
That man just said that Safari is actually a money wiring company, so therefore they're receiving money and then wiring it somewhere underneath the name of a transportation
We
company.
said to go here.
Suite A right here. And then you have 617A right here, but this is reliable services, immigration, travel, and tax. I do not see a transportation company
Good
anywhere.
morning. Hey, we're hoping to find Dreamline Transportation. You ever heard of it?
I've never heard of it. Ask next door.
He said to ask here, but you would know.
Ask next door. This is a mailbox. It's not a road call.
So, Dreamline Transportation could be nothing more than a mailbox. 834.
So it could be one of these mailboxes. Well,
Okay, see you later.
607 Safari Transportation. doesn't exist. It's actually a money wiring business. 617 Dreamline, inside of there, it's actually a liquor store. And then 617A is a place where there's a bunch of mailboxes and it says reliable ITT services. How are you doing, man?
I just want to ask you.
Yes, sir.
Why are you sensationalizing the propaganda?
What are we sensationalizing?
To attack our community. What's your final objective?
We're not attacking your community by any means.
Are you making good money from this?
We're looking for fraud.
No,
for instance, can you answer our question? Where's Safari Transportation Company 607? It's not there. And why don't you answer?
How much money are
why don't you answer the question? Where's 617 Dreamline Security?
How much money are you making?
I make money off of YouTube. That's how I make my money.
Exactly. So you're making money off of sensationalizing.
That my job
and attacking
is
the Somali community.
I'm not attacking you guys. We're asking.
I'll tell you the reason why this is
sir.
happening. All right. Let me tell you the reason why
fraud
you're
is fraud,
this.
correct?
Yes.
This has nothing to do with race. This is fraud. This fraud.
Absolutely has to do with us being Muslim.
No, it does not.
All right, and us being from Africa. This is a constitutional argument. If you don't want us here, change the freedom of religion. Say, listen, we don't want Muslims in this country anymore.
We're not saying that.
No.
We're not saying that.
When I go
Sir,
onto
we're
your
talking
comments,
about fraud. You're talking.
When I go onto your comments,
my comments.
What I see is people that say we do not want Muslims here. Kick every single Muslim in Minnesota out of Minnesota.
That's a comment.
You are You're preparing for the Somali community to maybe be taken to concentration camps, just like the Japanese community. All right, you're sensationalizing.
No, we're not.
All right,
sir,
something that
answer
can
the question. Where is the transportation vehicle company?
Jeopardize
answer the question.
The safety and the protection of the Somali community.
We're talking about fraud.
If anything happens to the Somali community,
we're talking about fraud.
Listen, I'm not doing anything. I'm not physically touching you.
You're getting very close.
I'm not physically touching you. No, I'm not physically touching you.
This is fraud. We're talking about fraud.
What you're doing.
You're defending fraud. You're defending fraud.
Comments,
you're defending fraud.
People who hate Muslims want us out of here.
People can say
for
what they
being
want.
Muslim,
I'm not censoring anybody.
Are using your material. Islamophobes use your material. People who hate Islam use your material. Say to us, we don't want you here. Change the Constitution. But guess what? Let me tell you something. Guess what?
Say it. We're asking about
We're
fraud. asking about fraud.
You hate Muslims.
I'm not saying I hate Muslims. We're talking about fraud. We're talking about fraud.
Why are you attacking us?
This
are we
is
the
fraud.
only community that suffers because of fraud?
We're talking about fraud.
Are we the only community that does fraud? Are we the only community that does this?
This is about fraud.
All right, but there's what, 300 Somali providers in all of Minnesota?
There's actually 800.
Don't touch me.
Don't go
so,
you speak English? Your security doesn't even speak English. Listen, let me tell you something.
See, this isn't a race issue, sir. This is about fraud.
We have, what, 1,000 providers?
Yeah, you guys have a...
Even it's 2,000 providers.
Okay,
you want to sacrifice the safety of 80,000 people.
We're not
because of fucking 2,000 providers? Are you fucking mad? Are you stupid?
I'm not stupid. You're stupid. Where's the transportation company?
What about if a mass shooting happens in Minnesota? It will be because of you. It will be because of you. If any Somali gets hurt in Minnesota, it's because of Nick fucking Shirley. This is
about fraud.
One single Somali gets hurt.
This is about fraud,
it's
sir.
Because of you. Sensationalizes. You son of a bitch. Sensationalizes.
Wow, you're very nice.
Get the fuck out of our neighborhood.
Very nice.
Get the fuck out of our neighborhood.
Sir, can you tell me where the transportation company is?
Get the fuck out of our neighborhood. We don't want you here. Get the fuck out of here.
Calm down, sir.
Get the fuck out of here.
Sir, this is about fraud.
You wanted clicks?
You're sensationalizing yourself, sir.
You wanted clicks?
You're sensationalizing yourself.
You wanted clicks? You wanted the YouTube?
Tell me where the transportation vehicle is.
Clicks? You got YouTube clicks. Now get the fuck out of our community.
Tell me where the transportation vehicle is.
Get the fuck out of our community.
Tell me where the... This is about fraud.
Motherfucker. Say I don't want Muslims here.
This is about fraud.
Say I don't want Muslims here. Say it. I want to change the Constitution.
No, I don't want to change the Constitution.
Freedom of religion, and I don't want Muslim Somalis in Minnesota. Kick them out. I was born in this country. You have to take the passport away from me. That is what you are arguing for.
We're not talking.
Change the Constitution.
This is about fraud.
Thank you,
sir.
Appreciate it. Get the fuck out of our community.
This is about fraud.
Get the fuck out of our community. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Stupid fucking idiot.
Tell me where the transportation company is then.
Get the fuck out of here.
Obviously for this video we had to get security because look at this now. Alright, we're going. We're going. But there is no transportation company in there. Fraud. There were no transportation companies.
No, none.
This isn't about race. This isn't against religion. This is about fraud. We're fighting fraud here. We're not fighting a race.
Well, and this is what happens when you put a spotlight on fraud. The people who are benefiting become extremely violent, and the Somalis are the most violent people I have ever met in my whole life.
Because he couldn't answer the question. Where was the transportation company?
He wouldn't answer the question. All he did was make it about race and then issue threats.
Neither business was there or operating, and giving a very conservative estimate based off of David's numbers and other numbers online, it's fair to say each business is operating with an average of 20 vehicles and with a much lower and generous rate of $25 per trip. And with 10 alleged trips a day, each business is pulling an estimate of $1.3 million in gross revenue. And with those 2 locations alone, there's over $2.6 million in estimated fraud. All right, we're going to the next location.
What's interesting, Nick, is that one of the places we just visited, the 617 Cedar Avenue South, that's for Dreamline Transportation. That's the address listed with the state of Minnesota. But the place that we're going right now is going to have vans that say Dreamline Transportation on them, but they haven't moved in months. You'll see they're covered with snow. There will be no tire tracks. And so, why are they using this address? And all that was in there was a liquor store. And he told us to talk to the guy next door, and those were all just mailboxes. And then the guy next door said, go talk to him. I said, we just talked to him. Obviously, the cover up, and you see how they all stick together, and it's all this intimidation. And thank God we had the security we did there, because that would have been bad.
Now we're outside of this transportation vehicle company right here.
Yeah, and so you can see these are the vans that say Dreamline. You can see the sticker on the window and the numbers on the rear. None of these vehicles have moved in 8 months. I've been taking date stamp photos. All these vehicles are in the exact same spot they were 8 months ago. And look, there's no tire tracks. So they haven't moved.
And this van as well, this is Dreamline. Dreamline was the location where we got chased out from the Somalis on 617 Cedar. And this is a vehicle from Dreamline that actually didn't even exist. It was a liquor store. And now it's here, and the vans haven't moved at all. Literally, no vans and no tire tracks anywhere. If these vans are being used to transport people, whether it be healthcare, childcare, there would be snow tracks.
What was
and
it?
There's
Hey,
1,
Taylor Gold
2,
pointed that out too.
3.
I think that's what a lot of people are, missing. It's not that, Nick Shirley likes to take credit or whatever. And it's like, I agree with the Somalian guy to a degree about, clicks, sensationalized, whatever, because I do think that when you make things more drama filled, I guess we call it sensationalizing things, it gets people angered. And I do agree with the Somali man. I don't know. I'm not going to talk for Nick Shirley because I don't know what he's thinking, but I do see it as that when you point it out or when you call it out, people get upset. So what are people supposed to think? That's what really I don't understand. Is like you see these people get outraged.
At the same time, when you try to expose like the tenant stuff like that, like the mobile home stuff I did in Jordan, 90% of the city's minorities live where? The mobile home park.
Right.
They were literally discriminating against when I went up to Huntington Place. You know what I mean? It was majority minority people, and no one cares about them. So when you stand up for them, no one cares. But then if you call out fraud, then oh my gosh, it's you can't have it both ways.
Right. Then I think that's the problem is like you're seeing a lot of selective outrage, and people should be mad at the government, not mad. The Somalians, we can't blame the whole population, but I will say that a large part of that population did understand what was going on, just like with the natives, just like what I shouldn't even put the natives in there. The Mexicans, the Hispanics, the Asians, all those things that have been pointed out years ago. And now we're just seeing it because people want to point out the Somalians. And I think they were bold enough to do it in front of everybody and think that they were never going to get caught. I think that is a big part of it for me.
Well, the slumlords that I've seen in Minnesota, yeah, you have Sabri, but he's not Somali.
Right.
You know what I mean? But other than that, most of the ones I've seen are white folks doing it. You know what I mean? So am I a racist for calling out white folks doing it? But no one cares, and everybody gets paid off by it because of the property taxes and whatever else. So they don't want it to change. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's more going on, but people just don't care. You know what I mean? This is low hanging fruit, in my opinion, and I don't have a problem with him doing it. But the same networks exist throughout the state for what's been going on.
Right. And I do agree. I'm gonna get back to this Nick Shirley video.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 vehicles here. No snow tracks anywhere. These vehicles are not being used, and these transportation companies are making lots of money. Meanwhile, there's actually nothing to show for. Here's all of the vehicles right here. And the vehicles that are coming in and out, like this Toyota, it does not have anything to do with transportation company because there's no stickers on it and there's snow tracks. But the vehicles that are supposed to be used for transportation are literally locked in. Snow is building icicles. No one's even came out to remove the snow off the window. These transportation vehicles are not moving. And then right here, David has more paperwork for Silver Mountain. And there's 3 different companies in the same address.
Yeah.
So when we talk about how all these companies are intertwined, this is a perfect example of that. And this is why these transportation companies are so essential to the fraud in Minnesota, because they allow the fraud to be supported, as the majority of the fraud is from welfare programs like daycares, autism centers, and adult daycares. And healthcare services. They need to leave a paper trail to make it look like something is happening. Therefore, they use these transportation companies to create that paper trail by saying they are moving people from an adult daycare to a healthcare provider, for example, but they actually never provide the service at the healthcare provider. But that paper trail allows them to continue to bill the state for the money, and everyone gets paid. That's why this fraud is so deep and hard to dismantle, because quite literally everyone is involved.
And it's all because the state of Minnesota never checks.
All right, so this is actually the location for Silver Mountain Inc., LLC, and Co. Let's see if any... Yes, we're wondering where Silver Mountain.
Silver Mountain?
Silver Mountain.
Oh, I don't know that. Where it is?
It says 2722 Park Avenue.
All of you, get out of here.
Where is Silver Mountain here?
Fuck Silver Mountain. You don't have a permission to do that.
Okay,
You
so
were
Silver Mountain does not exist.
You were
No, the name, the name's not fuck Silver Mountain. It's just Silver Mountain.
Don't ask me
Healthcare.
that. When you come...
All right,
So
sir. Well, so
It's another way,
so
that's
Silver
the
Mountain
way
does
to
not
make a
exist.
business. You're making a
2722
business.
Park
You have
Avenue.
millions of people watching you.
Silver
You're making
Mountain.
business to
Okay,
600
sir.
people.
2722.
You have millions of people watching right
Yes.
now. Where is Silver Mountain
I don't
Home
know where
Healthcare?
Silver Mountain is.
Okay, well that's what we're
But
looking for. All right, we're moving on.
I don't know why it's stopping so much today.
So Silver Mountain does not exist. David, we're just simply asking for where is Silver Mountain Home
Can't
Healthcare?
find any of these companies. I mean, this is shocking. 3 companies are supposed to be in that building, and he's never heard of them. He doesn't know anything about them.
And look, so they don't exist there. Right there, Somali Senior Center and Adult Day Services, a daycare right there. All these welfare companies are in the same location, but their businesses, that business didn't even exist.
It's all fraud, all of it.
So right there is a transportation company, no passenger, just a driver. How come you think
You tripping.
when it comes time to take accountability for what's happening, or just to answer simple questions about the fraud, they can't answer?
Well, I think their reaction tells you all you need to know. That the reaction is so violent that if there was no fraud going on, they would say, what are you talking about? They would have a civil conversation, but they can't, because they know we're shining the light on the fraud, and they have no defense So, in their mind, being loud and using profanity is their only defense.
Because I'm trying to give them the opportunity to say, where are the transportation companies? Where are the daycare? Where are the children? Where are the companies now? Yet they can't answer.
And to this point, Nick, the transportation companies we've been to, we haven't seen a single vehicle at any of them. In fact, some don't even exist. We can't even find them. We're going to the addresses that are listed on the Secretary of State's website as their business address.
This is a massive parking lot here. We're gonna go ask them where their vehicles are. They should not have any excuse as to why they don't have their vehicles here,
Right.
other than if they are out driving right now. And what's the story behind this business?
Well, this business is new as of March of 2024. It's Muhammad Malim is the registered agent for 713 Minnehaha Avenue East.
Me and David headed into this building, however, the owner was not there. We're here at the suite of Epimonia Transport LLC. There's actually not even a sign here. And anyone here, it looks like there's a guy over here. Let's see if we can talk to him really quick. Do you know about Epimonia Transport here?
So there was a transportation company here in 305 for a long time, even before I joined the building a few years ago. He's never really here. I've seen the office a couple times. There's barely anything in there but a couch. And then I see him maybe twice a month so.
And there's no transport vehicles outside. Massive parking lot, but no transport.
I've never seen one. I've been here for 3 years and I'm always here. I'm a workaholic. I'm just nonstop here, so I know everybody in the building, and this specific space here is probably the most sketchy out of any other business here. Everyone else is here, they're friendlier. He just pops in and out.
And for instance, this guy Muhammad, he should have his business in 308. There should be transportation vehicles outside. There's nothing.
That's weird that you say 308 because he's always been in 305 for the last 3 years.
Wow, so he's even lying on his public records with the government.
I would assume if he was to make and doing fraud, it makes sense to switch it up and throw people off track. It would be the first thing somebody would do, I would think.
So since the fraud has started to be exposed, Muhammad has left the scene, and that guy just said, he confirmed that there has never even been transportation vehicles outside. So Muhammad has completely left the scene. He's nowhere to be found, and this parking lot, massive parking lot, actually never even had any transport vehicles according to the guy who lived or had his office next to Muhammad. How quick do you think the fraud would dry out here in Minnesota if they were to cut out the transportation side of the fraud?
I think it would have a massive effect, and that the signal that would send would let people know the party's over.
Because if me and you were to go to the doctor, we'd either have to find a family member, drive ourselves, or pay for an Uber. How come they even have this set up?
Yeah, I tried to arrange a ride with one of these Somali transportation companies. They said they were all full. So now we're at 2833 13th Avenue South in Minneapolis, and there's supposed to be a non-emergency medical transportation company here called Advance Mobility Incorporated. And what's interesting about this company is that state records show that it first registered with the state of Minnesota in 1999.
And they have been in business for over 26 years.
Yes, correct.
So we're gonna go inside.
They must have a lot of vehicles.
So this is Advanced Mobility 2833, boarded up. All these windows are covered right here. We're gonna see if we can go inside.
Okay.
There's a bunch of shops in here. We have money transferring shop. We got clothes in here. There's a coffee shop. Let's see if Advanced Mobility is in here. We got spices. Is Advanced Mobility here?
You know 224?
I don't think you guys are allowed to.
Oh, Lord.
Do you know where Advanced Mobility is?
Suite 224.
She's recording over there, so. Suite 224. Do you guys know where Advanced Mobility is? Do you guys know where Advanced Mobility is?
Advanced Mobility?
Yeah, we're looking for it. Never heard of it?
What is this? What is that?
Oh, my name is Nick Shirley. We're just looking for advanced mobility.
Everybody know Nick Shirley. I don't know why.
Where's advanced mobility at?
We don't care about advanced mobility.
Right.
That's what we're asking for. All right, we're looking for advanced mobility. Nobody can help us right now. We got a whole group of people trying to get us out of here. We're looking for advanced mobility.
We don't care about advanced mobility.
Advanced mobility doesn't exist.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Get out. You need to get out. You need to get out. Get out.
Now they're pushing us out of here.
Get out.
Where's advanced mobility at?
We don't care about advanced mobility.
That's what we're asking for.
Get out. Get out.
Would you like to give a statement on where advanced mobility is?
Nope. Go ahead. Get out. We don't care.
So advanced mobility is not anywhere here. We're leaving, sir. Would you like to give a statement on what's happening here in Minnesota?
You make stuff up. This is a lie. I don't care. Who do you work for? Who do you work for? No, who do you work for?
Nick Shirley.
Who do you work
This
for?
is Nick Shirley, sir.
I don't care about Nick Shirley. That's you.
Yes, sir.
But who do you work for?
For Nick Shirley.
I don't care about Nick Shirley.
That's who he's working for today, Nick Shirley.
This is from the
We
state
don't
of
care. We don't care
Minnesota.
about that. Get out of here.
And see, you guys say I can't film, but look at you guys filming. You can do that. You can film here. Advanced mobility doesn't exist.
Well, so what was interesting was we walked in there, and on the state's website, it says it's in Suite 224, but it's a one-story building. None of the suites had the number 2 on them. It doesn't exist. And it's been registered since 1999, and it doesn't exist.
All right, next location. David, where are we at?
We're at what's called Ray's, R-A-Y-Z Transportation, LLC.
And this is Ray's Transportation. We're on a street. There's no parking lot for any transportation vehicles. We'll see what happens.
I'm just going to rewind it for a second.
This is from the
We
state
don't
of
care. We don't care
Minnesota.
about that. Get out of here.
And see, you guys say I can't film, but look at you guys filming. You can do that. You can film here. Advanced mobility doesn't exist.
Well, so what was interesting was we walked in there, and on the state's website, it says it's in Suite 224, but it's a one-story building. None of the suites had the number 2 on them. It doesn't exist. And it's been registered since 1999, and it doesn't exist.
All right, next location. David, where are we at?
We're at what's called Ray's.
So I'm going to stop that for a minute because I want people to see something. The renewal due date, he doesn't have to renew to 12/31/2025. So that was last New Year's. And it says it's active and good standing. So when you see things like this and you don't see no companies, you don't see no extra floors or any, how do you not think that fraud is going on, especially something these companies have been since 1999, which I'm sure at first they were doing the right thing, but now since the money got out of control, they probably weren't. Just like with a lot of rehab centers, a lot of peer recovery, anything that people could scam off of, they were doing it. And I think that we as people, and especially Minnesota people, need to call this out. And if you're not calling out and you're just standing by, you're part of the problem. And I don't understand that when it comes, because Natalie Plumley actually, she didn't check me or anything like that, but she actually left a comment, and I put something about libertarians. And she made a good point. It's not just one label. It's a bunch of labels. And why do we label them? Just so we can be united? I mean, so we can be divided and cause chaos to one another? Because that's how I grew up with street gangs in the street, is you were loyal to one label, which was either GD, Vice Lord, Blood, Crip. And that's how it was. And that's why a lot of people that grew up in Minneapolis, we didn't really go to St. Paul like that. And if anybody tells you that we did go to St. Paul like that, they're not from Minneapolis, because we weren't going over there like that. We were going out to Skateland, roller gardens. So for anybody to tell you that we were going over to St. Paul like that really doesn't know the demographics, and especially weren't here between the 80s and the 90s.
Do you mind if I ask a question real quick on that?
Yep, go ahead.
Did you get mad if people called you a GD or a Vice Lord or whatever if you were part of the crew?
No.
So if you have loyalties to a specific group, let's say Let's even use like the Freemasons or the Fraternal Orders of the Eagles.
Yep.
If they were doing crime, we'd say it would be Fraternal Order of the Eagle crime or Masonic crime.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you're self-identifying as a group and that's your group identity, you know what I mean? Then I don't think it's divisive to call it out, you know?
I don't think it is either. And I think it's all because of we're in an environment right now in a society that doesn't see right or wrong. It sees if you're a Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, white, black, Hispanic, immigrant. So it all matters. Instead of people just being human beings, we put them in the labels, and that's what keeps us divided. I'll admit I'm a part of it because I feel like I need to label myself because I've been mislabeled my whole life. So it's time that I label what my values, what my morals stand on. And it's between right and wrong. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat, Libertarian, Marijuana Party. If you're doing wrong, you should be held accountable.
Well, the state's a big part of it, and the go along to get along thing that they've been doing for decades and decades. Because when I was in the military, I was one of one in the command. So, like, if something needed done for medical for my guys, I was the one to do it. I had to verify all their medical records, do all the health physicals. One of the things that you do is you verify things. We had to verify the medical records. I had to verify that all my guys had their medications for deployment or their eyeglasses or whatever. And part of that is also going out and doing site visits, making sure that they're okay and whatever else. All I'm saying is, like, if one person can verify 300 medical records and take care of 300 people for their medications, everything like that, whatever else, the state employees can break up these sites and actually go see them and verify things. It's not hard. It's complete laziness, and you're paying them for their laziness just sitting at a computer clicking a button.
I really don't call it laziness, though, because this is just my thoughts, right? This is my opinion. I don't really feel like it was lazy. I feel like it was designed for them not to pay attention, because when COVID came around, we had 6 feet distancing. People were getting rental licenses without even a house being looked at because they would do it over a Zoom camera. So they can only, they'll show you what you want to see, not what you're supposed to see.
Phil called it back out in 2016. So this isn't a new thing of things being in the middle of a field or whatever else. Like, this isn't a new, that's all I was getting at is, like, sometime in 30 years, or that one was registered in 99, right?
Yeah.
So sometime in 27 years, you haven't stopped by to check it out.
Right.
You know, that's egregious. At that point, it's going beyond laziness. It's a culture of dereliction of duty. Your duty is to make sure taxpayers' funds are being used appropriately. At that point, it's a dereliction of duty because it expands across quote unquote regimes, whatever you want to call it, whoever's in power. So it's not a Democrat or Republican thing. It's a culture of corruption within Minnesota that things are allowed.
Well, I think because nobody has ever, and I won't say ever, right? Because there was Phil Parrish, there was Ron Chamberlain, other people have called it out. But I also see that they were never listened to. They clouded them out, made them look evil, made them look like they were spinning a narrative, a lie, when it actually was the truth. And I feel like that's the problem. So when Nick Shirley or I don't know, any of these other people that come in here and they be calling them racist or Islamophobic, any of those things, to me, they just don't want to face accountability. And that Nick Shirley has a following. His last video was over 140 million views. So they understood that when he comes in there and he shows shit, and especially when it's the truth, you're going to have people go in there. Because I seen a guy that was on Joe Budden's podcast, Queen Flips. He wanted to come out here and see for himself. He didn't want to believe none of the videos. And I do believe that's part of the problem. But he wanted to come here to Minneapolis. He's from New York, but he wanted to see it for himself. And he could, if you watch that video that Queen Flips did, I don't know if you've seen it or not. And he's like, damn, because they would never allow the black community to do that. They would never. But I see
I'll
it now.
preface that with it all depends on if you're one of the quote unquote community leaders that they are the gatekeepers, because they keep those guys very well paid. So
that's what I'm getting. That's the point that
Yeah.
I'm getting to, is that at this point in time where we're at around with America, is that it's easier to point out the Somalians, and that's how a lot of these black leaders are really being ignored. I wouldn't even say being ignored, but not being brought up. And there's a reason for that, because the Somalians are more of a political, and I know Somalians is a right name, so I'll say Somalis. But they know that's an easy cop out. They know that's a easy pick, because if they go, just like how niggas is going to Bobby Champion, I'm gonna play this a little bit later, but how they're going to Bobby Champion, and the whole time he hasn't done anything for North Minneapolis. So I don't really understand it. So let me get to the end of this video, and then we'll have a longer discussion.
RAYZ Transportation LLC.
And this is Ray's Transportation. We're on a street. There's no parking lot for any transportation vehicles. We'll see what happens. This is the address for Ray's Transportation. Let's see if anybody is here. Is Ray's Transportation here, sir?
I don't know. Transportation place. There's no transportation places here.
Oh, okay.
It's
well,
all
It's just
healthcare places.
RAYZ.
Well, I think it's confirmed they're not here, David. So it's confirmed that Ray Transportation, all of these transportation companies, they're kind of like ghost companies. They exist on paper, but they don't actually exist in person. Would you like to see anybody in the government here held accountable?
Most definitely, because there can definitely be an allocation of funds.
And what's your message to Tim Walz?
Make a change, because there's definitely, even when it comes down to like the kids and stuff, there's definitely stuff that like we need spaces for the things that are going on that they're not doing. We need these type of spaces for it. Now this is some crazy stuff, but I'm glad that you bringing light to it. It is a crazy, interesting situation.
Hey, what's up? What you got going on, man? Hey. You keep that false narrative that you be going on. It's a nonsense.
You should get in your car.
You should not be doing that, right? You are creating misinformation. This is not fair. It's not fair for the American people to be doing that. It's not fair. It's not fair what you mean. You cannot be doing that. You're not being fair.
How?
This country is built on fairness. You're not being fair.
Yeah,
you cannot come into the community and be doing that.
So we shouldn't allow fraud to be happening, right?
Let the legal system do its job. Governor, we got an attorney general. Let them do the job. You're not in a position to do the job. You're not a prosecutor. If you want to run for office, go ahead, run for office. But you cannot be doing this. This is misinformation. This is the information.
How is it misinformation, sir? It's from the
This is what you're doing.
state
You're
of Minnesota.
You're coming everywhere. Where you coming from?
You see what I mean? We're talking about the facts that's happening here.
You can't. It's Southside. It's my turf. Get it.
Sir, so we were just having a civil conversation. That guy hopped out of his car in the middle of the road. About the fraud that's happening. And he's saying that I'm the bad guy for showing light of what's happening here.
They're passionate. They're passionate people. They don't want this type of stuff either going on or be brought to light. So that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna come. It's a very tight knit community.
You saw it firsthand how crazy it gets out here. He hopped out in the middle of the intersection.
Yeah, I'll say.
So this isn't about race. You're a black guy. They're black, right? We don't have no ill feelings towards you by any means. We're talking about the fraud that's happening. So God bless you, sir, and thank you very much. Why are we doing this?
So we're doing this, A, because it's the right thing to do. The people of Minnesota and the people of America want this done. Fraud is fraud. And when we try and talk with these people and say, look, the main reason we're doing this is to find out why are all these checks being written by the state of Minnesota for companies that don't even exist. That's what we're trying to figure out. It's not a race issue, it's a fraud issue, and fraud is fraud.
And so what most people don't understand about this fraud is it is literally in the entire state of Minnesota. It's not just in one part of Minneapolis.
Right, and so I think what happens is the people in the suburbs of Minneapolis and St. Paul, they get lulled into a false sense of security because they say, oh, that's in Minneapolis, it doesn't affect us, or that's in St. Paul. And we're showing that this fraud spreads throughout the entire state of Minnesota, including all of the suburbs. And we're going to bring to light exactly what's going on in those respective suburbs.
And so what's happening in this suburb of St. Louis Park?
Well, this is one of the Somali NEMT, non-emergency medical transportation companies, that's registered with the state of Minnesota in St. Louis Park. And so let's see if this one actually exists.
This is the location of Crescent Transportation. We have no vans outside right now. Does not look like any vans are outside. Let's go inside, see if Crescent Transportation exists. Here we are, and it's an apartment complex. There's no signage of any Crescent Transportation Company. Once again, another fraudulent business where they don't even have a storefront to show where they're at. This is an apartment complex. So this is an apartment complex right here?
Yeah.
And have you ever seen Crescent Transportation out here?
Nope.
And what do you think about the fraud taking place here in Minnesota?
Huh? I'm a taxpayer. I don't like it.
What's your message to all the fraudsters?
Huh? Prosecute their ass, take them to jail.
And how do you feel knowing that, for instance, right here, a transportation company that receives money from the government is not even here? It's an apartment complex.
I just said, I don't like it. I'm a taxpayer. I work hard for my money. People out here fraud, they should go to jail.
And should Tim Walz go to jail?
Oh, he cricket too, huh? All them cricket, all the politicians. My daddy ain't never liked none of them.
So that man right there just confirmed that this is an apartment complex.
Right, and so the cities have specific rules governing operating businesses out of apartments. They do not allow transportation companies to park vehicles in an apartment parking lot. None of the cities in the Twin Cities allow that.
Because even if you were to be running a transportation company out of your apartment, there's nowhere to park the cars.
Well, where are they? There aren't any. Crescent, I don't see anything with Crescent on it anywhere.
More fraud taking place here.
So this is called Hopkins Child Care Center. This facility is licensed to hold 118 children. So this should be a really big facility. And this year alone, they have received $2.25 million from the state of Minnesota. And last year, they received $1.92 million from the state of Minnesota. And this facility, in the past 5 years, has been in the top 10 for the most money received from the state of Minnesota.
So there should be plenty of children. There should be footprints of children walking in and out.
This should be a very busy place, yes.
So this right here is Hopkins Child Care Center. They're receiving over $2 million a year. All of the windows are completely blacked out. You can't even get in. And for a place that's supposed to have over 100 children, there's no footprints anywhere going into the store. And it's locked, midday right now. This is the back side of the daycare. We're ringing the doorbell right now. See if anybody comes. Hello, sir, how are you doing? How are you doing? Yes, sir.
Get out.
Okay, listen.
Get out. This is our business.
Each other, okay?
Yes,
What are you
sir.
looking for?
We don't care what you do on the parking lot.
Go this side.
This
private.
I can be here in the
No,
parking lot.
no. You don't be here.
Wait,
What are
can
you
we
looking
ask
for?
you about the daycare? It's
What
all
are
right.
you looking
It's all
for?
right. Can we ask you about the
You don't
daycare?
care about anything.
No. I don't care, Ken.
Sir, I'm not racist.
You have to live here.
I'm asking
No. You don't ask me nothing.
$2.25 million.
Get out, you guys. Get out.
$2.5 million.
Get out.
This is a business.
Get out, hey. Get out. What are you looking for?
We're asking. We just want to
Get out.
We just want to ask you about $2.25 million.
Get out.
You say,
Get out.
of here, man.
Get out, guys. Get out.
You cannot do that.
Get out. No, you cannot. You cannot do that.
Where?
Get out.
This is
Fucking get out, man. No. Get lost. Get out. No.
Sir.
You have to get out. This is our property. Get out.
Why?
Get out.
Can I ask you about the daycare? I have the paperwork right here.
No. Get out.
What's the need
Get
for
out.
$2.25 million for a
I'm telling
daycare?
you, get out. Get
Can
out.
you answer the question?
Get out. No, I don't ask you any question. Fucking. You guys,
can't.
get out.
You can't answer the
Get
question.
out. No. Who are you?
My name's Nick
Who are you?
Shirley.
No, I don't give a shit. Get out.
Could you answer the question?
No, I don't.
What's the need for $2.25 million for a daycare?
No. Fucking $1 million. Don't worry about it. Get out.
Okay.
Get out.
And it's licensed for
Get out, my friend.
118
Get out.
children.
Get out.
But I don't see any footprints of any children here. I don't see any footprints of any children here.
Get out. Get out. Fucking guys. Get out. No, you're not asking nothing, man.
I'm just asking you about what we're seeing here.
No, get out. Get out our business. Get out.
Sir,
this is my property.
You have millions of people watching right now. Can you say what's the need for $2.25 million?
Fucking $1 million.
And where are the 118 children?
Motherfucker, get out.
Sir, I'm just asking you a simple question.
Get out. No, you don't ask me any question. Fucking get out.
You have the opportunity to answer the question.
No. You can't ask me nothing. Get out. Get out our business, man. Get out. Get out, motherfucker. Get out.
Sir,
get out.
Just answer the question.
No.
Just answer
Get
the
out.
question.
No, get out. Leave.
Sir, just answer the simple question.
Leave.
Hey, don't touch me. Don't touch me.
You YouTube, man. Get out.
All right, code word has been given. We're out.
Get out.
All right, we gotta get out of here.
Get out.
Sir, just answer the question. Where are the children? No footprints of any children around here. No footprints of any children. They can't even answer the question. We gave them so many opportunities. We gave them plenty of opportunities. Just answer some simple questions. Millions of people are watching right now.
They came out with guns blazing. All we want to know is where are the children? 118 children, no footprints in the snow. All of their vehicles were sitting there with 2 feet of snow on them. They haven't moved in months.
The windows are all blacked out.
Yeah.
It's the same thing at all these daycares. 4 men came out, yet they couldn't answer the simple question. We had it right here. 118 children. $2.25 million is here.
Welcome to Minnesota.
Now this daycare center, how much money has this one received?
So this child care center is called Proud Child Care Center, and it's in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, which is a very high income area. It's a further out suburb from Minneapolis, but there are a lot of multi-billion-dollar homes right in this neighborhood. And this child care got $1.25 million in funding in fiscal year 2025. It got $1.08 million last year. It opened in 2021. Let's go see if we can find any kids.
There should be at least 40 children here. Looking at the snow prints, does not look like there's any snow prints of any young children. And all of these windows are completely blacked out. Let's see if we could just talk to somebody. Could I enroll my son Joey into daycare here? Well, do you have the paperwork where I could enroll a child? Who are you? Oh, my name's Nick Shirley. I was wondering if I could enroll a child. I have a son named Joey.
Who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley.
So where you come from?
Yeah, I'm just coming out and seeing if I could enroll my child, Joey. We just want to get a statement as to why this daycare needs $1.26 million and if it's even possible to enroll somebody like my child, my imaginary child, Joey. No, you guys can't give a clear statement, or could you even give me a paper to enroll a child into the daycare? Just to show that you guys are a legit business. It would debunk all claims if you could just give me a piece of paper saying where to enroll a child. You can't do that. Okay, well thank you very much. And I hope this place actually is holding 47 children because you guys are receiving $1.26 million in this year alone. So have a great rest of your day. They won't even give us a paper to enroll a child. Could have debunked all their claims. They can't even do it. One of the big talks about the fraud is about Quality Learning Center. It's a daycare that has received $1.9 million. It's licensed for over 99 children. And instead of quality learning, it says quality leering outside. But the big controversy about the Quality Learning Center is that Somalians, after the video went live, they all of a sudden started shuffling children into the daycare. But at the same time, the Commissioner of Children of Minnesota was on a live stream saying they had closed the daycare a week ago.
Quality Learning Center closed just over a week ago.
How much money has this place all received? And what's...
This is the one that's licensed for 99 children. This fiscal year, they've received $1.9 million. And in fiscal year 2024, they had received about $2.2 million. So about $4 million in the last 2 fiscal years.
We're up in the Quality Learning Center, 1-800-FRAUD, as now it had been confirmed that this place was closed down, and now they're shuffling children into the daycare.
So Tiki Brown said this facility was closed.
Oh, she said a week ago.
And now, magically, it's full of cars. So how can it be closed if people are coming and going?
Fraud. Why do you have everybody here?
Okay, this is the owner right here.
They can record it. We just need the property. Okay. So
You guys can record. And so how come they said this building was closed? We're trying to speak to the owner. They won't even answer a simple question. Look, now he's going inside.
Sir, don't run though. It looks suspicious when you run, brother. And you can smile, but bro.
Sir, I'm right here.
He's right here to speak to you.
I'm right here.
Don't do that. Oh,
you can't defend the fraud.
Oh, come on. At the daycare doing, not at the daycare doing the middle finger though.
We have like 100 cameras on it. Now, both of these people have interesting ties with politicians inside of Minnesota. For instance, the man who's running the daycare, he was celebrating with Mayor Fry after he won re-election of mayor inside of Minneapolis. And then this lady right here seems to be a friend of Ilhan Omar, as she has photos with her outside of the restaurant, and she also has videos of her giving a tour to a separate daycare to Mayor Fry. It really makes you wonder why these politicians haven't fought against the fraud, knowing that it's happening in locations like Quality Learning Center. Meanwhile, they're taking photos and celebrating with them at events. What's your message, people, on the fraud here in Minnesota?
This is part of the cover-up. They're trying to cover their tracks. So let me say this on camera. If you can prove that any of the information that I have here is false, I'll give you $100,000 cash.
Okay.
If any of it's false or inaccurate in any way. Anybody want to take me up? And if you can't prove it, you have to give me $100.
So you saying all that's real?
100%. I'll give you $100,000 if you can disprove my information.
Okay.
See, they all went silent. Silent.
Anybody? Your $100 versus my $100,000 cash.
They're all silent. What do you think about the fraud here?
Hey, the fraud here in Minnesota, I ain't gonna lie, it's crazy. Like, what do you mean specifically? What do you mean?
Yeah, how do you feel about this daycare, for instance, receiving $1.9 million? And they couldn't even spell learning right. They spelled leering.
Hey, man, Somalis, they're an interesting creature. I'm not gonna lie, I can't say too much. I'm already too hot. But, I mean, Tim Walz, you gotta solve this stuff. Minnesota really cracked down on this because they've been doing this for years. So.
Should Tim Walz be prosecuted?
Hell yeah.
And at this point, you're probably wondering where all the millions and billions of dollars has gone. Well, it's been well tracked that a lot of the money, millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, has been funneled through TSA at the airport inside of Minnesota. It's been well tracked and documented. Even in 2017, there was reports coming from the local Fox News station, and I was actually able to meet up with a whistleblower who used to work as an agent at TSA on the side of narcotics, and he saw millions of dollars go through TSA. And what kind of fraud did you see take place here in Minnesota?
So I worked for the airport police for 31 years. 24 of those years I worked in narcotics at MSP Airport. And my recollection was from about 2015-16 to 2021 when I retired. I would get emails from our dispatch saying like 2 male Somali descent individuals. They would give us their names. They claimed the cash, that they had a large amount of cash at the checkpoints. We'd get all this information in an email, and I believe they would send it right away. So TSA would contact our dispatch telling us this, then our dispatch would relay the info via email to us.
And how much was the money?
The money, the smallest amount in a suitcase that I heard was like $750,000. But generally, it was anywhere from $1 million to $6 million in a suitcase. And there usually was, as far as I can remember, there was always 2 individuals traveling. So you would have maybe one guy with 2.2 million and another guy with 3 million. And
at airports, you're able to take $10,000 without declaring it. How are these guys able to take millions of dollars?
Because as far as I know, as long as they declared it, they were fine. So then TSA would contact HSI and Customs, and I'm sure they got the information. We got the information. My administration knew about it, and I trust that they sent that on to higher state officials on this, but nothing was ever done the whole time I was there. I talked to one individual. We were going after narcotic cash leaving the airport. This was always fraud. We had no nexus to that this cash was related to narcotics. So our hands were kind of tied. We couldn't do a whole lot.
How do you suspect these Somalians had millions of dollars to move in an airport?
We would rack our heads all the time, like, where are they getting this? Where in the world are they getting this money? And I had heard about these daycares and whatnot, but I mean, I thought at the time, okay, maybe they had 10 daycares, but apparently they have a lot more than that. We were all just racking our heads trying to figure this out.
So you openly saw just millions of dollars get moved through these airports?
I saw one time. I saw an open suitcase with the cash because we were looking into seeing if it was narcotics related, which it was not.
How much money do you think moved through the airport in your time?
Millions, literally millions and millions. I mean, we're talking for a good 5-6 years, you're talking, I don't know, 5 to 6 million a week. It would happen twice a week. You would get twice a week where there would be somebody flying, two people flying out with $1 to $2 to $3 to $4 or $5 million twice a week, every week, without fail.
And where were those people traveling to?
So this is the word I got, that they would fly to Atlanta, take a flight from Atlanta to Dubai, and then apparently what I had heard was it was too dangerous to go any further with it, so they'd wire the money to Somalia. Whether they scraped a whole bunch off the top and did that, I don't know.
Wow, so they take the money from Minnesota, take it to Atlanta, and then take it to Dubai, and then from Dubai they then wire the money.
Correct. I don't know that for sure, but that's what I was told by other investigators.
So all the taxpayers' dollars were getting funneled through the airports and then taken to Dubai to be sent to Somalia.
Yes. It appears that's how it all went down.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. You know, I'm really not shocked about a lot of it because a lot of it has already had came out. I guess it's just seeing it on video and then seeing that a lot of these were there for years and nobody wanted to go check them is really crazy to me. It's kind of like, what were our elected officials doing? You know what I'm saying? It's like, because they definitely weren't paying attention. So were you being paid to look the other way? You know, or were you benefiting from it? I mean, there's a lot of questions that people need to ask, and those aren't the questions that are being asked. And to me, that's really, really, really crazy how nobody asking. Well, I shouldn't say nobody, because the people in power aren't asking the questions because they're already included. And that's the part that nobody wants to talk about, really.
There's an entire network behind this, though, that's pushed the legislation to get this stuff into law. I can show you the map in just a minute here after we go through this if you want. But it's the same organizations that are rallying a lot of the protesters and whatever else. And it's literally a network that's been in place for a long time. That's called, it's controlling the narrative. And then they also have controlled a lot for pushing for certain legislation and voter registration. And I can go through the map of the network here after we get done with this if you want.
Yeah, you can put it right now if you want to.
Okay, this is just one. Okay. one person. So, granted, you realize this is there were more people involved. Okay, let me close that. So, right here you have Duran Schrans. She's been active in Minnesota since the early 1990s. Her husband worked on Paul Wellstone's campaign, and she's been a big part of Isaiah.
Okay.
She was their leader for a while, but she also works for DPI Fund and Community Building Strategies. And those are two things that are the DPI Fund. If you can see this, I can zoom in a little bit. These are organizations from all throughout the U.S.
Right.
Okay, you have North Carolina. Okay, the Black Alliance, Detroit Action Fund, Education Fund, Make the Road North Virginia, Florida Rising Together. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's the same narrative that they're pushing across all these states. And if you want to know who funds it, here's the foundations and funders: the Kellogg Foundation, the Novo Foundation, Resilient Democracy Fund. You know, the Merck family from they're big into pharmaceuticals, right? The Rockefeller, okay, the RX Foundation for, again, pharmaceuticals, the Ford Foundation, the Open Society, that's Soros. That's who's been funding this. This is one of their orgs here in Minnesota. That is a DBA for Isaiah. We Choose Us, Minnesota. Okay, you have COPOL. COPOL actually runs Immigrant Defense Network, which works with MIRAC. MIRAC then works with a lot of these other orgs. And so they actually get, if they provide any services where they get state grant money, they're required to also do voter registration. They can either vouch for the person or the person can lie on there, and it's perfectly fine. All they have to do is self-identify that they're a citizen. Okay, but you can see the Muslim faith part of Isaiah. I'm not sure if this one has COPOL on there, but down here I know Faith in Minnesota. That's their. So Faith in Minnesota is their 504 that we talked about yesterday.
Right.
They have the PAC. They have, you know, all these different churches that are a part of it. She was part of the organizing and power lab at the State Power Fund. These are those different orgs. Here's the rest of the community building strategy clients. This is where she works. Sunrise is one of the huge ones that's pushing everything right now. You can go to their page and they'll show it. Education Minnesota. Why do you think they closed down the schools to have these kids protest?
Right.
Okay.
The distant learning option.
Yeah,
Right.
all this is tied to one person who's been known as a Walls operative and also a DFL operative. She controls the narrative. She's part of the narrative initiative that was a resistance to Trump in 2020. Yeah, right here's COPOL.
Yeah.
From We Choose Us, Minnesota. I'm not sure if Care Minnesota is where this one right here. See if I can zoom in. I'm not sure it'll get any bigger.
Right.
But Care Minnesota is right there.
Right, yeah.
And so, like, MAPE, the teachers, that's the teachers' stuff. One of their dealio is for their unions.
The problem is, though, you know, and that a lot of people don't have the patience or even the smarts. But I will tell you like this is because when I got into this, I didn't either. I taught myself, and there was other people that put me through city charter classes, ethics, and I see that this was somebody who, when they first got off the couch, I was on the, what you want to call it, DFL, Black Lives Matter, whatever. And then I started seeing a lot of the bullshit. I started seeing the envelopes being passed, you know, them talking about all this wrong shit. But then I'm like, damn, ain't nobody holding each other accountable. Why? Is it like so? No, go ahead.
And even when they're trying to do the quote unquote right thing, they play politics with it.
Right.
I got pulled off of as soon as somebody ended up running for a DFL seat, they pulled me off of the stuff for Huntington Place.
Right.
They played the politics game with Marvin's case. You know what I mean? I can go down the list on these cases where they play politics on whether or not they do anything to whether or not it benefits them. So they really don't care about the individuals.
Right.
And that's the thing is like there are instances of police brutality or overuse of force or racism, whatever. But when everything's racism, nothing is.
Right. Right.
That's the problem. They choose the wrong scenarios to throw the narrative out there, and Duran Schrantz helps control the narrative. In which cases that they're going to jump on to push the narrative for their goals, like Floyd, like everything else.
Do you see
their
Ben's,
narrative was already planned ahead of time.
Right. Do you see Ben's comment? I highlighted it.
Oh, that I made that up using a mermaid model, and all that was connecting all of her organizations. Okay, so if you go into the individual websites, DPI Fund, it'll show their list. The community building strategies will show the list, and then you'd have to individually find out who their funders are. What I did is I just merged that all into one, so you can see it in one area.
Let me show this, because this is Data Republican. This is for me, and I will tell you that I'm not very tech savvy or even smart, but this was what helped me. Data Republican website, because for me, and no offense, Robert, or anything like that, even to Troy, but this to me, it was easier to put in organizations to be able to see their connections, lawmakers, and that's what people don't have the patience for, and that's really what I think is the problem, especially when it comes to Minnesota, is that people don't look at it. They think it's some kind of narrative, or they're either racist or called all different kind of names, other than that it's the truth, and they can show it, but nobody believes it because they've talked so much shit about the messenger. Nobody received the message.
Oh, definitely. You can show whatever you want and continue on. I just wanted to show how one individual, that's just one organizer, okay, has been in charge of so much here in Minnesota.
Right. And that is like, I don't know what exactly, because I know Robert, he's taught me a lot of the shit. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I don't know if you ever used this website, Rob, but this actually makes it a lot easier. At least for me. I don't know how it is.
I had to dig.
Okay.
I had to dig through old newspaper articles. I mean, there's so much stuff that isn't readily available for AI that some of it I had to pull up from other sources and feed into it in order to. All I did was use Grok to condense down the list. So, I had to keep on making it add the things back, so it would take things off, and so I just had to make sure that everything was
right,
organized. Yeah, and the list was accurate.
Right. That's one thing that I like about you, though, because you cross your I's or cross your T's and dot your I's. And that's one thing that I do appreciate about you. I know you take a lot of flack, but that is honestly one of the things that I do admirate about you is that you're real. You know, you can show it's not doesn't break it down to a party, or it's just about right or wrong. And you want to show it. And I think a lot of people just don't.
In the video that I did about Duran Schrantz, she brags about how she was part of the brains behind the 2023 legislative session. And she brags about her involvement with Walz and all these people. I mean, she brags about it. And she even says that the progressives, that's what she calls herself, is only 12% of the DFL base, but how they force their views on everybody else. She literally goes through how they do it.
Right. And this, I know earlier this week I played the video of Molly Dennis, but this was also the organization that she wasn't allowed to get on the buses and go to a public protest. It's all because when somebody has a disagreement over ideologies or honestly, it comes down to me wrong and right. And instead of standing up for the right, people stood up for wrong and stood there. And these people call themselves Christians. That's the crazy part to me, because Christians love one another. I don't see anything God related pretty much anything going on in these damn streets. I want to play a video that last night over in North Minneapolis, there was a shooting. A lot came out about it, and some were narratives. And to be honest, it's just the truth. You can spin it however you want. There was a lot of things that I feel like last night that transpired were things that I feel like we could have prevented. So let me play this video that last night that it's about 2 minutes long.
Federal agents under attack. Overnight protests did turn violent in Minneapolis. New video shows all the chaos in the streets where federal agents were forced to use flashbangs and tear gas to get those crowds under control. This has come after officials say an agent was forced to shoot and defend himself when he was ambushed trying to arrest an illegal alien. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jan Jeffcoat. It is Thursday, January 15th. Right now, that ICE agent is recovering in the hospital. The illegal alien who was shot in the leg still in custody right now, and federal law enforcement is working to get those protests under control. Angela Brown is joining us right now from the live desk with the latest on this incident. Angela, another very tense night in Minneapolis. What are you learning this morning?
Well, we're trying to track, Jan, basically what's happening on the ground this morning. It appears, at least right now, the streets have essentially calmed down following, really, as you just saw, a night of protests and also chaos. This all came following another shooting involving ICE and two people who agents say were trying to interfere with an arrest. Now, there were some tense scenes, which you've been seeing really on morning like this right behind me, where protesters squared off against federal officers. At one point, the anger boiled over into protesters lighting and throwing fireworks at some of these agents you see back here. But those agents responded by firing tear gas back into the crowd. Eventually, Minneapolis police had to be called in to help restore order to that scene.
The crowd is engaging in unlawful acts. They have thrown fireworks at police officers, and at multiple times, gas has been deployed. Police are attempting to disperse this unlawful assembly at this time. I urge anyone that is at the scene to leave immediately.
Well, let's take a step back and show you just how things got to that point. Last night around 7:50 Eastern Time, ICE was attempting to arrest an illegal alien. Apparently this was all happening during a traffic stop. That man drove off from the scene, crashed into a parked car, and got out and ran, according to agents. Now, agents eventually caught up with him, but say they were then attacked by two people from a nearby apartment with a shovel and also a broom. The agent said he feared for his life, so he took out his gun and shot one of them in the leg. All three later ran back inside the apartment and eventually were arrested. Now, everyone now apparently is in custody. The officer who was attacked and the suspect shot in the leg are still recovering in the hospital this morning. The deputy attorney for the U.S., Todd Blanche, writing right here, ICE operates in thousands of counties without incident. Men and women doing their jobs, protecting us from criminal aliens. Minnesota insurrection, what he's calling, as a direct result of what he calls the failed governor and also their failed or terrible mayor. We're going to continue to watch this and follow this story.
I do want to show some more because there is some other things to see about last night. Here, because I know that with Bobby Champion, and there's one. There'll be a lot of.
Can I make one comment?
Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick. So, an insurrection act, for that to be invoked, the state has to be either unwilling or unable to deal with itself, basically. Right. And Frey literally admitted they don't have enough officers to deal with themselves. Walls has said that, you know, basically we're going to keep doing what we're doing. Just be peaceful. But at the same time, you have DFL reps out there inciting this stuff. You can't get in control of your party. You know what I mean? If that's what you want peace in that, get control of your party, because you have people like Ilhan out here saying, oh, no, we're going to keep on. You know what I mean?
Right. And I think that's the problem. You know, I remember when I got off the couch 6 years ago for George Floyd, and then now seeing this, and it's the same as people, and seeing some of the things that have happened, seeing some of the things that have been said, to me, that's a bunch of cowards, because we would have gotten justice for Ricky Cobb, Winston Smith, Amir Locke, but we didn't. Even Blessings, because we allow our police to act reckless, right? So what is any different? Because I know I'm taking a lot of flack right now on social media, even from people that I know, all about the Renee Good thing, right? It's not about politics to me. It's about right and wrong, because Renee was wrong. Just like yesterday, nobody would have came out of their house if that was a black youth. They wouldn't have got involved, jumped the police. There wouldn't have been none of that. So why are people doing it now for ICE agents? I don't understand that. That's what's really crazy to me. Like, we're putting ourselves in danger for what? Because we have a whole nother fight. Let them people be. We have our own shit to deal with. That's one thing that I can never understand. Is like, we always want to jump into somebody else's business. Why can't wrong be wrong?
And if people are thinking about going out there, just realize this. If you are part of a crowd and you've identified with that crowd,
right,
and somebody in that crowd commits a crime, you possibly are part of that crime now. Especially if they crack down, they can take everybody, man. And just be careful. I mean, you remember how it was in 2020,
right?
But if they send in the troops, it's not going to be the Minnesota National Guard, probably. It's probably going to be regulars. You know what I mean? So the regular troops, because they did that lawsuit about them using the National Guard, it said that they have to send in the regular troops first, basically, before they could use the National Guard. That means active duty. And I don't know. That's all I'm going to leave out at that.
Right. That's what I was going to say. Just let it be, because a lot of people are already going to get in a haywire. That's because they don't understand the shit. They think it's all fun and games. So just let's keep on letting these people let's let these people keep on with their fun and games, because they're going to end up going to fuck around and find out. And that's what we're seeing. This is the one thing that I learned, because I remember we did a protest. Well, I didn't go. I didn't end up going because it was Regina True. And I knew that was Cortez Rice's judge. And he had just went to court a couple weeks ago. There was no way in hell I was going to that. I wasn't confirmed that. I couldn't confirm the address. I did find that she had sold the condo a couple weeks before that, but people still didn't believe it, but they still went. And they did illegal things in there, and people got arrested. So why can't we call out when people do wrong? Instead, we stand with them. I don't understand that. So I want to show you, this video is about 3 minutes long. And what I'm about to show you is that, I guess, supposedly, allegedly, I won't even say supposedly, allegedly, this is an ICE agent's car. They're saying it's public information. I don't think what they found, I won't even say what they found, what they broken into, because that's what I'm about to show you. That's not public information. Public information is when you can go on a website and you can see the information, or you do a data request or a freedom of information. Come on now. Are we really that stupid? So let me show this little 2 minutes and 51 second video.
Almost there.
Oh, wow. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Bullets? It's some bullets.
Hey, that's a 47.
I don't know.
No way.
Tourniquet there.
Did he get?
Okay. Hey, don't film that. Who's that running?
No faces. They're running. Now, if you haven't done anything wrong, why are you running? It's because they did things wrong. That's why I stopped fucking with these people all the way back to Winston Way, because they will sit here and do shit and then want to run away. If you're not doing anything wrong, why are you running? Because that's when people get hurt. And I still cannot understand this. That's why I say, what Renee, good running, driving off, that's not a good decision. Because if you're not doing anything wrong, why are you running? Because that's how people get hurt.
If you don't think that they have the Fusion Center network up where they're spying on everybody, they have all these live streams. They know exactly whose cell phone it was on, exactly the time. I mean, just saying, you doxed yourself to them because there'll be knocks on your door.
And what I don't understand is like these people don't even, I'm not even going to say nothing, because I remember when city council in Hennepin County had signed an agreement, and I think this was back in like 2021, where they were going to homeowners and allowing them to be able to look at their cameras. They were signing some kind of deal, contract, whatever it is, because when you have your own cameras on your own property, that's not police information. They don't have the rights to that. But now that they have an agreement with a lot of the people that are in the community for their cameras, we got to be, come on now. Because I can tell you right now, some of these people didn't think that we're going to get in trouble. Well, that's the goddamn lie, because some of these people, I've already seen all their names being up here, their faces. Like, come on. You guys act like children, kids. This is what kids do. Are we not adults? Do we not want change? That's why I have such a hard time with this movement, because I honestly don't feel like these people want change and reform, because I'm tired of saying people's names. I'm tired of calling out the police departments. I'm tired of calling out the elected officials when Black men who are mentally ill get incarcerated instead of mental health help. I'm tired of talking to drug addicts and I can't find them no help, because all y'all care about is keeping them on drugs with harm reduction. Like, I can't understand this shit. Do we actually want change and reform, or do we only want clout, clicks? Like, I don't get it.
When you've set an acceptable level of behavior, people are going to think that that behavior is acceptable.
Right. And now they're saying that this is acceptable behavior, because you had Mayor Frey and Chief O'Hara. Well, Chief O'Hara, I'll give him a little bit of credit, right? But Frey talking about peaceful protesting, wasn't nothing about this shit fucking peaceful. Because if it was peaceful, why did ICE have to throw tear gas and it ended up in a car with 6 kids and hurt them? That didn't have to happen if people were stopped being chaotic. We're making conditions out here dangerous because
definitely
people, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it.
Well, after ICE leaves, people are now emboldened to do this to the local police, to the state patrol, it set a level of acceptable standard where you will not be able to control the state.
See, I'm going to stop it there for a minute, right? Because they're not doing anything to Minneapolis police, and they're not going to. That's the whole thing about this, is that they believe that the Minneapolis police and Minnesota State Patrol and all that shit is with them. Even though throughout the 150 years of MPD, that's all they have ever done is harass, traumatize the poor community in Minneapolis.
Oh yeah, that's all I was saying, is there's gonna be another Ricky Cobb. There's gonna be another. Right. I mean, like, that's all I'm saying, is the next time an incident happens, they're saying that this is acceptable behavior.
Right.
It will be acceptable at that time too, and they're going to be unable to control it. So once you set that standard of this is acceptable, it will be acceptable against you too. And I don't think they realize that.
Right. And I don't think they will. Crazy. Damn, so they're just all over the scene. Wow. Wow, all over a crime scene. Look at the cop. Oh. Right. Wow. Crazy. Wow. Wow. I don't even blame them for what's about to happen. I don't even blame ICE. I'm not even going to say ICE. I don't even blame the federal government right now.
How many people are wanting to go to work and just live their lives, live in these communities? You know, if they were allowed to do their job and nobody harassed them, stand back, take pictures for sure, dude.
Right.
But don't obstruct or interfere. I mean, people are parking the streets in the middle of the road where you can't even get through.
Right. Here's another video I want to show real quick. It's only like 2 minutes.
Hey, listen, I'll tell y'all nothing. They on the Snapchat, so they gonna be on y'all ass if y'all recording.
Right, and it's recorded.
They gonna be on your ass.
Right.
Your ass is a witness.
All fun and games.
Hey, don't hit them. You finna break that bitch.
Please don't. Don't fuck with Minneapolis. They got the motherfucking thing.
Slick on the back of that bitch.
Hey, listen.
You niggas going to jail.
Watch out.
Look at all the press. Wow.
That shit sounds empty, man.
Oh, you doing okay, man?
I'm okay. How are you?
Yeah, dude, there's nothing in there.
There could be coins.
That was the helicopter. A lot of people are running. Crazy. I think we already seen that one. Here goes another one. I know Ford got some good videos.
Bro, oh shit. Bro, you got arrest warrants.
Hey, take these bitches to the news.
Take it. These motherfuckers was saying shit on camera. Crazy. Yeah, even this. Like, come on, y'all.
Hey, I take the rims from off that motherfucking stuff.
Wow.
Do we have a vent or camera here? I'm taking the rims and everything.
Wow. Wow. Right.
Nobody shit, don't worry.
Wow. So, I mean, there's a lot of videos going around like that. But one that I wanted to show you before I got up out of here was one from last night when they got out in the vehicles, right? So they called the ICE vehicles abandoned in the North Minneapolis neighborhood have been ransacked. Here are some of the documents and challenge coins found inside, showing them to Mercado's media. Andrew, whack-ass Mercado. Here goes one. That's what I'm saying. Like, all this is crazy. Like, why? Y'all are sitting there doing this shit. Like, they can't tell. Y'all are crazy. Because I will tell you like this, Mercado will bitch out and tell on one of y'all to save himself. Wait, just wait. Wait and find out. Crazy. All of this shit.
Oh, hopefully Andy knows that there was a report sent December 11th because the orgs that he was covering prior to that were calling for literally calling for war against the borders, war against the government to destroy the republic and institute their communism stuff. Quite literally in the open. Mayday books, the one that they did outside of Fort Snelling, and so I just linked to the orgs and I said he's been covering them and working with them, right. And then also chatting to get them to locations so that way he can film them. So that was known. And then I did also that was to the duty desk to ICE here in Minnesota. I found their email and I sent it to them. And then yesterday, earlier on in the day, when he was almost running into people and all that jazz, I did send them more information to the FBI. So that report was already done prior to what they did last night, because he's encouraged people to come here from out of state, like the Jolly Ginger.
Man, fuck that bitch ass dude, man. I don't even, you know what the crazy part is? It's like you can automatically tell that these people are fakes and frauds because they never pay attention to what the people are saying. And I will just say this, because if you haven't heard the story about Jolly and Akron, there is something really wrong with our movement. And I will tell you like this, there is something really wrong with our movement. And if you think that it's okay to steal $40,000 from a bail fund, and it, come on now, people, like, are we actually going to do right? Like, come on, that's crazy to me. Here's the video where they're showing where they got the weapons out.
No way. Tourniquet there.
Did he get?
Did I show this one? I don't know if I did or not.
Okay. Hey, don't film that.
Don't film that. So we're okay with this shit. I don't get that. No faces. All press around, but no faces. Rifle suspect plate. Wow, you going to jail. There's no doubt about that.
Federal pen hits different.
Huh?
Federal pen hits different.
Yes, it do. It definitely does hit different, man. And it's crazy. People are, you know what? I'm gonna say this, right? Because I think people haven't fully learned their lessons yet. But I think this time around, they will, because people got cease and desist. It never worked. People were put stories out here and people still didn't believe it, like the shit about Tashira or like Cortez Rice, Frank Nitti, Terry Willis. Like, they all had badass stories, but nobody really gave a fuck because y'all don't care. Y'all would rather have these type of heroes in Minneapolis and end up getting people hurt instead of actually trying to find solutions. That's what's crazy to me. I'm gonna let Robert speak here for a minute, and then I'm gonna get up out of here for today.
Just think for yourself and do your own research. When you see these movements in that, look into who's funding them. If you claim to be against billionaires, you want to tax the rich and eat the rich, you'd have to eat Ilhan Omar. You know, you'd have to eat the people that are getting the money from the Rockefellers and all this other stuff. It's a paid movement to tell you what to think. Yes, they have the same things on their right. I think we need to end that type of influence in politics in general. It needs to be the facts, not narratives spun to make you feel a certain way or whatever.
Right.
You know, because we the people should be able to make informed decisions with informed consent, and we don't need people lying to us and shoving narratives down our throat. So have a brain, and if you plan on going out there, just realize if you're going out there, you're deciding to take whatever consequences come from actions of not only you, but those around you.
Right. Because that's what everybody's got to be accountable, man. Tomorrow I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Y'all have a great what is it, Thursday? Yeah. So y'all have a great day.